Dr. Prabhu is a ENT surgeon, specialized in nose, ear, and the throat. And he also never stopped learning. He has done some research on the water, how it helps in a natural way of therapy and to apply on his patients. And he found that this terrace water is really, really very benefit to the patients. Yeah, so you can see from here, actually he has started his own company, has a golden hand. So some people ask me before, what is golden hand? So it's a company from Dr. Prabhu. So you can see there are many areas that he is working on, especially the epigenetic analysis on the body. So sometimes the breathing, the brain wave, all this will affect our health, no? So without further delay, we would like to invite Dr. Prabhu on board to talk about today's topic is on immune system again, because immune system is a very huge topic, is a very wide coverage. So yeah, let's put applause to Dr. Prabhu. Yay!
Thank you very much, Angie. Fantastic morning to every one of you. It's an amazing day once again meeting. Now I feel that the Saturday is coming too fast. I just finished last Saturday and suddenly I'm seeing today morning Saturday once again. Okay, anyway, coming back to the part 4 of immune system, what happened was suddenly 2 days ago, something popped up in my mind and said, I need to speak on this particular subject called the 5 senses, which plays a very, very important role in our body and our immune system as well. So I thought, let me discuss this, and then probably from there, you all can pick up more information, and then how you can handle your immune system indirectly by balancing your the 6 senses. Actually, we human beings are 6-sensed animals. So what's happening is most of us, definitely, we are very, very confused to know which is the right way for us to move. And there is something which is the best sense in our life journey to move on. So when you're scratching your head, the best sense in the world is your common sense, which is very, very important. Now, if you look at the photograph here, it automatically mentions what exactly is common sense. Now, if you have a common sense, even in choosing your terahertz device or using a terahertz water, just a little bit of common sense is good enough for you all to understand what is it all about, whether it's going to be helpful or not. The problem with human being is we do not use our common sense, but we use our borrowed senses, which is from outside. For example, someone would have told, hey, I drank this one, I did this one, I had all this problem. So what happens? Your mind perceives this particular thing and automatically replays the same situation wherein you feel that you will be a party of the same unfavorable situation. This is what most of the time happens. But I think in our creation, we all have our own path of life wherein we need to decide what is right for us in our life's journey. This is very, very important, so that for you, it becomes much more easier. So when you're looking at common sense, it's a very simple thing. For this, education doesn't come down. No, there are so many factors which doesn't play a role at all. For using a common sense, you just need to be calm to understand in that given situation, what do you want to do? Very simple. So as a human being, we all know what to do at the right time, at the right place, and what we need to do. We all know that. But because of our behind the mind, which is a recorded program which we go on repeatedly, it goes on opening up for you to say that, hey, no, 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 this is not the situation. This is the situation which you have recorded previously. So what you need to do is you need to erase what is not favorable for you. Even if you have experienced the same situation previously, but today the day is different, the year is different, the time is different. So maybe your experience. So I always say, no two situations can be repeated in the same pattern in your life journey. Maybe one in a million people may have the same situation in their life, but in reality, most of us, it will be a different, because the timing is different, the day will be different. So saying so, now what we need to do is we need to get into the exact what is all about this 6 senses. Now 6 senses is we human beings. So in the animal kingdom, we are the number 1, which every one of us know that. So we do have all the qualities of the animals which are there from 1 sense to the six senses. Six senses ourselves. So we are the most evolved beings on this planet Earth. So when you're looking at the one sense is basically the plants. The two sense is something to do with the fishes in the water, which has got the visual and the touch. The third one is your chicken and the birds. The fourth one basically is more of crawling, the one which is crawling on the planet Earth. Then there are some birds also included in the fourth sense. Then the five senses, all the four-legged animals, they all have the five senses, means whatever the five senses I have written there, they do have that. And coming to the sixth sense, this is something which we human beings have an added advantage in the animal kingdom, is we have all the five senses plus an advantage of one extra sense is we have the rights to choose what is right for us and what is not right for us. We don't need to choose it. But now, why is that we always choose the wrong thing and get the wrong results? It's always, I say, is when you do the wrong thing at the wrong time at the wrong place, your results are wrong. It's a rule of thumb. But most of us are thinking we are doing the right thing, but in reality, we'll be doing the wrong. For this is where we as human beings, we need to understand the six senses, the wisdom to choose what exactly we need. So you need to definitely understand that we are definitely better than the five animals, the five sensed animals. We are much, much better. So how do we execute that is, number one is very simple, just be calm, nothing else. Just be calm. Do not make any hasty decisions instantly. Number two is pick up the information, then you can do your own analysis, and then probably from there you see what is right. Or what you need to do, pick the information and speak to the right people for you to get the right information. For example, you want to become rich, you need to speak to a person who has achieved that particular path of life where he is rich. But even in richness, there are two ways. One is the right way where you go straight forward, do your business and pick up. There are other ways also where people are making money. They are also very rich. So you need to choose which one are you dealing with. If it's from the right path, from the right methodology of doing a business, you need to ask those people. But many a times what we human beings do is we'll be talking to people who have never achieved anything, and they are the ones who will be giving ideas and suggestions as to what to do in business. If they themselves are so successful, for example, if you're 50 plus, you should be probably in the business, be a successful in whatever ways or on whatever speciality you are. You should be successful in that. But what happens is many times 30, 40 years, they'll be going on trying and trying and trying. Why is that? Because most of the people are jumping from one to another, one to another. So there is no stability. If you are stable in one place and then build your empire, is much more easier than to go on building multiple places, wherein like 1,000 places you go and then start building everything. What will happen? You are totally diluted. But if you are stabilized in one particular place and then start, so in that way, even if you are looking at terahertz, wherein you are looking at a business model, or if you are looking at the business expansion, you need to be staying here so that you expand yourself. At least give 1 to 2 years time for you to move forward. Now, with the six senses, how are we going to go further is, number one, what we need to understand. This is a very, very simple example and a very true information which you all need to understand is we all pick information from the universe or from the people outside through vibration. Ultimately, it's all vibration, nothing else. When you're picking up the vibration, what exactly happens? It comes through your auric level. What happens? It goes inside and then it gets stored in your brain. So your brain is basically nothing but a hard disk. Your brain will not decide which is right, which is wrong. Your brain is, the job of a brain is basically to keep all the information recorded and reproduce it for whenever you need it. Now, then where is the situation where you decide whether it's right or wrong? That's your mind. Now, when you're talking about the mind is the one in the form of vibration. It receives the information. Now, if a person says, hey, you don't do this business, it is a utter failure, what happens? You receive that information, store it in your brain. Now, there is another person coming to you and talking to you and tell, hey, you know what, this particular business has come to the market, it's very good. So immediately what will happen to your mind is, it will pick the information from the brain which is already stored that this business is a failure. So what happens? Automatically, you will immediately react with your emotion saying that, no, 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 this business is a failure. This is what most of the human beings are doing, because we are actually acting and reacting to the pre-recorded programs in your brain. This is what is happening. So one of the very important situation in your life would be is, what is the right information have you stored? What is that you have stored in your brain? Is it all the positive good things you have stored, or it is all the unfavorable things, more of failures, more of negativity, more of unfavorable situations in it? Is it that which is recorded in your brain? If that is recorded, then automatically it will play for you, whether you like it or not, because it's an automatic machine. It will automatically play for you. The moment it automatically plays, you cannot stop it unless you start practicing to erase that information which you stored it as a wrong information, and then you start inputting the right information. So for you to put the right information, you need to read, you need to listen to the right people who are expert in this particular field. Then what you need to do is put it into your brain as a recorded information. Then your brain will produce back all the right information what you want. So when you're collecting the information through the vibration only, so I'm going to into the step by step. What is, these are the 6 things what we all know. So right from touch to the visual, to the smell, to the auditory, to the taste, to the rationalization. Now if you see most of the human beings, in my practical experience, we are no way better than a third sensed animal in the animal kingdom. But we are all sixth sensed animal, you know. We are supposed to be much higher, but we are all stuck in the third level or maximum fourth level. We are stuck there only. We can't even delineate between what is right and what is wrong, whereas an animal can do that. So in that way, from today onwards, you all need to understand, start doing things which you as an evolved being should do. This is a very important message I would like to share, is we all need to, at least the creator, let us assume there is a creator who created us. What we need to do, he need to feel proud that he created such a beautiful soul and a human being on planet earth with a brain, with the sixth sense, and the evolved, highest evolved being. We need to make him proud. So if at all you want to make the creator proud, you need to be that, so that you act accordingly to that situation, so that you're no way, you know, lower compared to the all the other five sensed animals. This is what we all need to do. Whether you do it in the immediately, or you practice it and then pick up the information, it doesn't matter, but better late than never. Let's all work jointly together, so that we would be able to execute the right methodology of learning and using it into our day-to-day practice. So coming back to our this one, the first thing I would definitely mention is all about our rationalization. Rationalization is something which you need to segregate between whether it's going to be favorable for you or not. Number one. In that way, if I am going to give you an example, very simple example I am giving you, you know pretty well, everybody knows pretty well that smoking is injurious. In fact, on the cigarette packet itself, it's put smoking is injurious to health. Correct or not? Now, once it's put there, smoking is injurious, why are you smoking? It's a very simple question we need to ask ourselves. Why are we? What are we doing? Why they are manufacturing? Now who is manufacturing? Why are they? That is none of our business. But you need to ask yourself, when so boldly, that too with the photograph of lung cancer, throat cancer, everything they have put on the photograph of a cigarette packet, but still we so beautifully will go to the cigarette shop, buy a cigarette packet, put it in our pocket, and then go on puffing it off. Now what is that you don't know? Number one, you know pretty well that it is injurious to your own lungs, definitely. Already, even if you don't smoke, out there in our environment, there are a lot of pollutants and a lot of carbon monoxide out there. Now, whether you like it or not, you're going to inhale that. Now, added to that, why are you smoking additionally along with the pollution outside? Now, this is where rationalization comes in. Very simple. So now this is only one example I'm giving you. There are so many examples we can give you. So what we human beings are doing it, we are all doing the wrong things and we are claiming that we are doing the right thing, or we feel that we are doing the right thing, at the end of the day, what is happening? You not only injure your own self, but you're creating another unfavorable environment to the outside world. At the same time, other fellow human beings are also affected. It's an automatic one. So what is happening is, this is where you need to start becoming rational in your life journey from today onwards. Please do not do what you're not supposed to do. It's very simple as that. Just because someone else is doing, you don't need to practice it, or you don't need to do it. Because if it is going to do good for you and for the environment and for the other beings, please do it. It's not at all a problem. So in that way, the first thing we all need to balance in our life is rationalization. So when we go on doing the wrong things, what is happening? Automatically, there are a situation where you will face it. It need not be just because you're smoking, you need to get cancer. It's not that. It's absolutely not that. But there are other diseases also which can affect. For example, if you're a smoker, your vessels become very stiff. So if your vessels are becoming stiff, automatically your blood pressure can come to you. You can get heart block. You can get a stroke. All these are problems. Now, just because you know, or I know that there are two situations. One is your heart attack. The other one is a stroke. Only two organs you're talking. I'm talking, okay, if liver gets a block, is it okay? If your kidney gets a block, is it okay? If your spleen gets a block, is it okay? So in that way, if you look at, there are so many other effects which can be a problem if we do not do a thing rationally. So rationalization is something which we all need to rekindle it and start using it in our day-to-day life, so that we execute something, contribute something to this universe, and then let's live happily, harmoniously, and move forward. Then the second one, taste. This is something I would definitely say that we are all totally slaves to this taste. Slaves. You know why I say slaves? Slaves are someone who have been, you know, all through their life, they'll be like that only. Now, if you look at many human beings, we are all slaves to the taste of food, what we eat. And after all, the beautiful dialogue, they will say, hey, doc, we are going to live only for a few years, you know. So what is a big deal? Let's whack everything. Let's eat everything and then we die. It's okay. Yeah, fine, no problem. You can eat everything. You can taste everything. It's all fine. But when the disease sets in, when the disease comes in, what is that you are going to do? Nothing can be done. Okay, even if you are going to get a disease and you're going to die, it's still okay if you are going to die on the same day. But what if you are going to get a complication and then you land up in a hospital, going to the hospital, coming back, going to the hospital and coming back? Like, in fact, yesterday there was a patient whom I visited, and then can you believe, 63-year-old diabetes with blood pressure, with stage 4 kidney failure, and the final, this is the most uh, very disheartening for me, was she has a tumor in her intestine. So doctors are planning to operate and then put a bag outside. Now imagine, diabetes itself is a painful situation, and along with that she has a gangrene of the foot. That means the doctor is ready to amputate the leg. Now this is the condition of this patient. Now our daughter was telling me, doc, she was such a wonderful soul, she has been working all the time, very active. Now why is this situation? Now we really do not know why she got it, but definitely I would say there are some places this beautiful soul would have ignored. She would have been so busy in her life that she ignored herself. Sacrificing is something word we all will be listening from every nook and corner, especially women. They'll be telling that they'll be sacrificing. But my request is, you can sacrifice for your whole family, but please take care of yourself. Spend a little time for your own self in form of exercise, breathing, eating the right food, and nutritious food. When you're young, start practicing this, because at the end of the day, when you're 50 plus and then when you get a disease, what do you want to do? It's a very painful situation. So here what is happening is, coming back to the taste, this is where most of us are stuck. So what you need to do is balance your taste buds. That means to say, most of us are very, very happy eating any sweet things. Sweet, anything which is sweet, we are very happy. But anything bitter, we don't want. Most of us are like that. But bitter is always better. The reason is, most of the time you take a bitter vegetable like a bitter gourd, they have a lot of nutrient values. Whereas sweet, if you are looking at, Definitely there are, for example, if you're talking about sweet potatoes, of course, it's called sweet potato because it's sweet. Now, if you look at the nutritional value, it has got a very high glucose content. That means the glycemic index is very high. So if you're going to consume that, what will happen? Your sugar level will go up. So doctors will say, do not take this particular sweet potato. Like that, if you look at, most of us, we know that we are not supposed to take, but still we'll be taking it. So there are few beautiful things I would like to request every one of you here. There are 3 W's, the whites you are supposed to avoid. One is your white sugar, second one is your white salt, third is your white rice. And if you look at, most of the time, people right now, even the rice part of it, everybody wants to go buy either it's a basmati rice or a little expensive rice. But have you visited a Kadai Runchit wherein you go buy a brown rice? You know how much is brown rice? For 5 kgs is only 15 ringgits, or maximum 17 ringgits is your brown rice. Do you know the value of the nutritional value of this particular brown rice is so good? It has got very high fiber content. It has got zinc in it. It has got iron in it. It has got copper in it. And it has got methylcholine in it. All these are all important ingredients for your diabetes. How many of you are taking the moment I tell, hey, please eat brown rice, the first answer I will get is, doctor, the taste is so lousy. We cannot even feel that we are eating a food. I agree, it may not be. But what you need to understand is your body needs a nutritious food. When you're eating a non-nutritious food, what is happening? Okay, then that is where you need to balance yourself. Maybe weekly 3 days you eat your brown rice, the other 2 or 3 days you go with the other rice, which you feel like eating. I have no issues on that. But you need to know how to balance your taste buds, and then you need to balance your journey, because what you eat is what you are. And especially if you're eating all the fried items, this is something which I would request you is, do not eat the fried items early in the morning, which is not at all a good advice. You want to eat something fried, you can go ahead with in the afternoons. And you want to eat non-vegetarian, please consume it sometime in the afternoon is always better. Nighttime, please avoid anything heavy. It can be non-vegetarian, it can be oily food, it can be sweets. Avoid it at night times. Nighttime should be a very light diet so that your body wants to rejuvenate. Coming back to the taste, once again, early in the morning, have a nutritious, maybe a good fruit drink or vegetable soups, something like millets. All these can be had in the morning so that, you start the day with a nutritious food, so that your journey of the whole day becomes more beautiful. So here, coming back to the taste, you need to really, really balance your food habits so that you avoid, especially this, I want the youngsters to follow right from your young age. Start practicing, the right new food habits. Very, very important. And you need to eat the food at the right time. Very, very important. Fix a timing, maybe 1 hour, 8 to 9 o'clock in the morning, means between that time, have your breakfast. Afternoon lunch between 1 and 2, please have it. But most of the time you see a businessman and people into the little vary timings. One day they'll be eating at 1 o'clock, one day they'll be eating at 3 o'clock, one day at 4 o'clock, one day they'll miss their. This cannot be done, because your body is so used to, and it is looking forward for the food to come inside so that it can prepare the energy for you to live your journey of life. But many a times maybe once in a while you want to skip, is still okay. But most of the time, have a fixed timing for you to have your food. And so taste is something very, very important. We human beings are definitely addicted to it. Now, it doesn't matter you're addicted to it, but what I would request you is, balance your taste buds with the right food and the nutritious food, so that your system gets the best benefit of the food, whatever you're eating. Then the second one is your auditory. Now, auditory also is another vibration. Like right now, I'm speaking to you all, you're all listening through your laptop or your mobile phones. You're all listening. It is another vibration wherein it comes into your ears, it gets processed, goes back to the brain. And then, for example, even if I'm going to speak in a language which you don't understand, then automatically, even though the vibration goes inside, you don't understand. So what the mind does not know, the eyes does not see, and the ears does not hear, and the nose will not smell. Even the taste buds, if I don't give a name for a particular food of taste, you won't know what is that particular food and what is that particular taste. So in that way, everything falls in the vibration which comes inside and then gets processed, and then it gets stored in your brain. So in the auditory vibration also, what is that you're hearing? What is that you're hearing? You can hear everything under the sun. It can be from light music to some speeches, to some pep talks, to some information from the, you can listen. But what is that you're recording inside your brain? Many a times you won't know that. You will be seeing something, but on one side there will be a music going on which you will be listening. So what's happening is there is a visual recording going on in your brain and an auditory recording also going in your brain. And some people will be so smart that they'll be seeing auditory, and then they'll be talking to another person through their mouth. So verbal vibration. So all the three coming in. So what's happening is you can do a multitasking in one given time. So here also you need to know what to balance, especially what information are you receiving through your auditory vibration. So if you receive the right information, very good enough, take it inside, store it and reuse it. But most of the time, the information what you're receiving will be not favorable either for you, for others. So what happens? You will decide according to the information what you have stored. So please balance your auditory vibration also, so that you are able to, execute whatever the recorded program inside your brain, which is already existing for you. You need to bring it out and then start sharing it. Then comes your olfactory. This is another one wonderful creation where God has created. And olfactory is something in corona, like as of now, the moment you lose your taste and your smell, these are the two signs wherein most of the people can recognize they are affected with corona. And now this is all a temporary situation for the corona infection, but after some time they all recover back. But olfactory is also another very, very beautiful situation where right now, if you see in this universe, there are a lot of animals being trained to pick the smell and then find out the particular person. For example, you want to catch a thief, they use dogs to smell and then catch them. So in animals, the smell is much, much more advanced, and they are able to pick up the signals much advanced. Whereas when you look at the human beings, our right from the visual to the auditory to the smell to the taste, it's all very limited. Why we have made it limited is because we have stopped developing ourselves in an expanded form. We are all trying to, like being in a frog in a well. We start going inside and then we just live like a frog in a well, and then we finish our journey and we die off. We never explore the whatever the God's gift who has given us to explore our journey with our knowledge, with whatever senses we have. We do not explore ourselves. So olfactory is another thing. And even in olfactory, I would say most of us are stuck with this because just the smell itself is so nice. So what happens? Even the food we eat also, the smell nice means automatically we go whack it up. So that is another area we need to know, balance ourselves with the olfactory vibration, and then we need to execute our life. Then comes our visual. Now this is something which is very, very important for people who can see. But if you see in our journey, people who are blind, they have less stress. This I have very beautifully seen. And in fact, their vibration also will be much higher. But the moment a person can see, we start comparing. This is where we all make the mistakes. Now visual, God's given, is supposed to see all the beautiful things. Even in a negative situation, you're supposed to see a beautiful thing. But because we have stored all the wrong information inside the brain after seeing, what we think is we are right all the time. But most of the time, what we receive is a borrowed knowledge or information from another person. But ultimately, what we need to do is visual vibration is something we need to develop and see what is really nice. For example, if you are going to a beautiful jungle and you see all the beautiful nature with the birds down chirping there and the greenery down there, so the visual vibration goes inside your eyes, goes to your brain and records. Now what happens? The moment you start seeing nature and being in nature visually, it actually activates your midbrain. Now, when your midbrain is getting activated, what happens is you start calming down. The other benefit of midbrain activation, normally the midbrain activation happens when you're visual and auditory. These two things, when it is combined, as I told you, when you're with nature, you're seeing the nature, but at the same time, you're able to listen to the birds chirping, and maybe it's a rainfall or a waterfall, you're listening to it. Now, when these two together are combined, your midbrain gets activated. In fact, in US, they have already done a research on this midbrain activation, and they found that the human beings are much more intelligent when you start activating your midbrain purposefully through the visual and auditory. So there are few techniques which I teach for people when they come to me in our workshops, wherein we teach how to activate your midbrain through certain exercises. And the moment you activate your midbrain, automatically there are a lot of balancing of situation, your balancing of brain waves, you'll be much calmer, your energy starts expanding. And very important is you will be clear, your rationalization will be much, much clearer when you activate your midbrain. So ultimately, we as human beings, we all need to be rational in whatever we are doing. Now, here, many a times rationalization can be different for different people, but I would say it's you who have to decide what is rational for you and what is right for you. But at the end of the day, if you are rational, there should be good benefit for your own self, for your surroundings, and for the fellow human being. This should be the criteria for having a rationalization. And most of the time, if we can follow this particular rationalized way of doing things, we definitely will be a contributor rather than we are on the other side. We are utilizing these benefits from the universe. So let's be more of a contribution than receiving and destroying whatever the universe has given. Then touch, this is another very beautiful feeling, especially as human beings and animals, especially dogs. If you see, when you just call them by their name, they will jump and come down, and when you just give them a hug, what a kind of feeling they have. You should see their tail wagging, so fast they'll be wagging. Now that's the way they express love and comfort towards you. And the same thing with human beings also. Now, the moment we hug another person, what happens is they feel very comfortable, especially when a person is in a sober mood and you go down and give them a hug and say, hey, don't worry, all will be fine. Even now in this corona situation, there are a lot of difficult times. Everybody is going through. Now, it's not that people have money or don't have money. Everybody are going through some difficult times. But still, if there is an option for us to, just touch or hold the hand and then speak, it will be a very beautiful way of comfort. But today, what has happened? Corona came in and made a change in our lifestyle. I really do not know what will happen in the future, because we are supposed to maintain a 1 meter distancing. We cannot shake hands. We cannot hug. All these things are coming out now. It's going to be a new norm. So what's happening? We human beings, from the basic, what we are supposed to, we are actually moving away from that natural mechanism, which should be actually. Now imagine I'm speaking to you without the mask down here. Now without the mask, it's so comfortable. But the moment I leave my house, I have to wear the mask. I have no choice. I have to follow the rules and regulation of the government. And I need to follow a certain protocol, which is been determined by the officials. So what happened? When you wear a mask, can you believe I am not able to breathe at all? Maximum 5 minutes. After that, I cannot. I feel so uneasy, because in nature, we are not supposed to wear a mask and move around. But Corona has come and changed the whole situation wherein we are forced to. But still, I would say, with this situation, can we adapt and then start moving forward? Which are the better ways for us? So coming back to touch, we human beings are definitely a beautiful animals, wherein when we touch someone, they feel very comfortable. So touch is another very beautiful mechanism wherein we can actually conduct some vibration through our good thoughts to the other person. When we touch, when we hug, when we hold hands, all this happens through the touch. So what's happening is you need to know how to balance this touch. Many times what happens is, if a woman touches a man, automatically it's a different feeling we get. But even there, if you can balance your thought patterns, even that touch can become a beautiful divine touch. Even whether it's a woman or a man, it can become a divine touch, provided you keep that frame of balance within yourself. So automatically you know what to do. So touch plays a very, very important role in our life. So you need to balance this particular vibration. Now, coming back to our these five senses, you are supposed to balance all the five senses as you're walking through. Now, many a times you all know that there are five elements of nature outside and five elements of senses which is within ourselves. If we can balance these 10 senses, balance and live in this beautiful life, life is going to be very, very beautiful. So in that, what is happening is water plays a very, very important role in our life, and then it is basically a tool wherein it plays a very multiple role when it comes up to its functionality. Now, when you look at the normal water, when you drink it, the taste is not at all good, especially when you're drinking the a normal filtered water. But when you're talking about terahertz water, when you drink it, when you sip it itself, you will feel that there's a lot of, very nice feeling. It's a smooth feeling you get. And I am very used to making tea or coffee with the terahertz water. So I feel the taste is totally different. So water is such an important tool, and we all are in this on this planet Earth use water left and right in our day-to-day life, right from drinking to bathing to using it for plants. There are so many other things. For cleaning purposes we use water. So in that way, what happens is, if we can balance everything what we do in our life with whatever we are doing, right from senses to the water to the other things as to food or taste, everything needs to be balanced. Only when you are in a balanced journey of life, everything starts falling in place. So definitely you all know that life began millions of ago with water as the first element to come inside, so that from there everything started working on. So without water, how long can you stay? They say it's around 72 hours we can sustain without water. But what happens the moment you stop drinking water? Your brain will inform the kidneys, stop pushing the urine outside. That's the first message it will get, and it will tell, please preserve the water so that your body functions can be maintained. So what the kidneys will do is, it will shut down the kidney excreting the urine. It will suck the urine water back and put it back into the blood, so that it can maintain a balance of water inside the body. Now this is what happens. But I have seen people not drinking water for even 4 to 5 days. There are some saints and all, they can go for without food and water for even 40, 45 days. But those are all extreme cases. But for you and me as a normal person, 72 hours is the maximum. After 72 hours, your body takes over autopiloting, wherein it will start doing what it is supposed to do. Now, what happens is, when there is less of water in your body, your urine is more in dark color. Now, the other thing what will happen is, when the actually your brain is being floating in something like a cushioned with water. The moment you start drinking less of water, your brain will start shrinking because there is no water, right? Now what happens, this is when you will notice that when there is a dehydration, the person goes into delirious mode, means altered sensorium. So that is one of the major drawbacks when your water is less in your body. Other than that, of course, you will get joint pains. Why joint pains is because definitely you will have some uric acid in your body, which automatically the lubrication will be affected. Then automatically you will get a little bit of joint pains. Now, feeling hunger, this is something very unique. When you're having less of water, you will feel like eating more. But your body's message to you is, you're supposed to drink water, not eat food, because you would have had food just recently, but still you will feel like hunger. So this is all a body mechanism. So you need to understand that if you feel hungry, maybe your body is telling you, sir, please drink a little more water, which is what I wanted. So you need to understand that. Other than that, of course, you can get a little bit of headache, and whether you like it or not, your body system starts shutting down one by one between 3 to 5 days, and then all the complications starts happening because of less of water. Now you tell me, with this 3/4 of water around the world, that means we have a lot of water to drink. Now why is the problem for you and I to drink sufficient amount of water day in and out, so that we hydrate ourselves and then start giving an opportunity for every cell of our body to do its function normally? Why shouldn't we do that? So you should drink adequate water, whether you like it or not. You should drink adequate amount of water, so that you get a good hydration, there is a proper metabolic function of your cells, there is a proper detoxification which can happen, and transport of adequate oxygen, and picking up of nutrients from the food what you eat. You need to have a proper water content. Then for your proper bowel movements also, you need to drink sufficient amount of water. Then other than that, very important, most of us won't even understand that we need to drink water for proper functioning of kidneys. Many of us would be noticing that either you're going in for a kidney failure or a kidney issues, it all starts with a little bit of lack of water. Slowly there are other complications, I am not going into details of it, but just by sufficiently drinking the right amount of water will help your kidneys to function properly. Other than that, you need to have a proper electrolyte balance. Electrolyte balance is, you need salt, you need chloride, you need potassium. All this is very, very important for you to balance your journey. So you better drink adequate amount of water for all these beautiful functions, which is almost 7. But if you are looking at, you want to drink water for benefit of a disease, yes, it is good, but at the same time you need to understand that you need to drink water for the benefit of the cells being healthy. This is what you need to look at. So when you're looking at drinking water, what is happening is, an ideal drinking water, like those days, if you say, people never had piped drinking water. Probably I'm talking about 50 years ago, we all used to live, and most of the civilization, if you look at, they all started near the riverside. So they started expanding along the riverside. This was the nature. Thousands of years ago, people used to live near the river because it's more easier for accessibility of water. So water from natural sources is the best. Okay, but today it is a different ball game. So rainwater, I studied rainwater as the purest water, but today it is the most polluted water because of the air pollution. When the rain comes down, definitely it brings down all the polluted materials, and then it comes onto the earth. That is where, especially people, when they get wet uh, in a rainy day, when you go out and then all those dust and then the polluted materials come and fall on your body, you will immediately fall sick many a time. Actually, when you drench in rain, you're not supposed to fall sick. But today you see every other person, they say, I drenched in water, that's why I'm having a running nose. Or in fact, if you have drenched in rain, normally rain brings down the ozone layer on the top there. When it rains down, it brings down a lot of oxygen for you to inhale. So when you are getting drenched in a rain with a high ozone, what will happen? In fact, your body should get energized. You should feel more energy. But many a times we notice that the moment a person drenches in rain, they fall sick. That means their system is not right. Their whole body system is totally out of balance. So you need to work on them. Other than that, you have the well water, your spring water, the river water, then waterfall, the water from a waterfall, oasis. All these are all natural drinking water. Now, what to do? You and I we are all living in a concrete jungle. So in a concrete jungle, piped water. Now you imagine, my building actually where I'm staying is almost 25, 26 years old building. Now, do you think the pipes, what they laid down 25 years ago, still now they are all okay? Definitely it will be rusted. So when I open my tap, it will be brown in color. The water will be brown in color. And every 3 days, I need to do a backwash. So what happens? Every time I do a backwash, it will be like a thick tea color, brownish color will be the water. Now imagine if people are going to drink this water without any filtration system, how much of damage you are creating for your kidneys. Now this is where every soul on this, especially living here in Malaysia, Singapore, or anywhere where you get a piped water, you need to fix a filter outside so that you get something better inside. And then inside also, you need to put to another filter so that you get a clean drinking water. It's a very, very important investment you need to do if you are living in a town areas or a city areas like what we are doing. So ideally, the drinking water should be clean. This is another very, very important message. It should be clean and it should be pure, as far as possible pure. Now, once you get this water, you can add an advantage to it by resonating the water. This is an advantage. So terahertz resonation is nothing but you're adding another extra benefit to the already existing clean water. That is it, nothing else. Now, if you're going to get a clean water, pure water for drinking, it's good enough. But if you have an advantage of having a terahertz resonated water, it makes things more easier, because once you terahertz water, automatically it gets resonated, and then the water becomes much more smaller. The molecules are much more smaller, so the advantages are many. So why not? If it is an opportunity for you to do this, please do it. There is nothing wrong. The technology, what they're using is terahertz technology. Okay. Now, there can be other methodology where you can resonate the water, like the Emret technology, or there are other methods. We are not going into that, but here we are going to stick on to our terahertz technology, which is a very, very new technology, which is almost 1 to 1.5 years in Malaysia with this particular product being sold. And there are many, many beautiful souls who are using this left and right. And then, of course, there are a lot of good benefits people with diseases would have got. But I would, as a doctor, would request you is, you need to balance yourself. Even if you are drinking the terahertz water, see how well. Like today, I can drink up to 3 to 3.5 liters of terahertz water. Is no big deal, because my body is used to it. It's almost 6 months I'm using this water. A lot of benefits. Now, the main benefits, many of us, like for my case, I got the benefit is one of the best benefit I got was your uric acid. I had a little bit of high uric acid. In spite of taking medicine, nothing worked. But after consuming the terahertz water, what benefit I noticed was my blood uric acid levels came down below normal. So it was good. So advantage of having a less low uric acid is basically your kidney functions will be benefited. That is number one. Number two benefit is your joints, wherein normally uric acid gets collected at your joints. That's where if you see people with uric acid, their joints will be swollen, and then it will be very, very painful. It's all because of high uric acid. Now, high uric acid will be because of your food habits. Okay. Now, you all have to understand that it is not just blindly your uric acid gets accumulated in your body. It's all over your years, what food you have been eating. If you're eating a lot of non-vegetarian with a lot of salt, you imagine you go to a restaurant. Do you think they are going to use a bamboo salt, which per kg is almost 400 ringgits for you to put in that whatever food they are preparing? They will buy the 50 cents white salt and then put it inside the whatever preparation they are making. Now, what kind of benefit are you going to get? As I told you, avoid the white salt. So here, when you're looking at restaurants, what kind of salt are they going to use? We do not know. They will be using the cheapest one only. But at the end of the day, if you're a regular person eating food outside, so just think that you are eating the white salt what these guys are putting. So automatically over a long period, you will definitely get the benefit of eating the white salt. Is what benefit you will get? It you will get the diseases. Your uric acid will be high, your sodium will be high, so your blood pressure will go up. All this will be seen. But when you're drinking the terahertz water, many times you may notice some changes or you may not notice some changes. It doesn't matter. If you want to notice some changes, the best example I can give you is you want to go and buy a carrot in your vegetable shop. Are you going to ask this shopkeeper who is selling you the carrot, hey boss, this carrot, how much of vitamin A is inside this? And is it organically grown? Is it pesticide free? And are you going to ask all these questions? And then when you consume one carrot, are you going to look into what are the benefits from the carrot? How much of vitamin A is going to get absorbed into your body? No, isn't it? You blindly eat, cook it, eat it, and then move forward. But many times what happens is when you're, especially when you're talking about this terahertz technology or the terahertz water, we have a lot of questions within ourselves. It's good. When you have a lot of questions, what you need to do is you need to contact the person who recommended you this particular water and ask them the details, number one. Number two, we have our company, we have our leaders. You need to contact the right person, get all the information what you need to know about the terahertz water, and then start drinking the water, get the benefit out of it. Because most of the time the benefits are fantastic. Only thing is you need to understand that, and then it's more easier for you to utilize these benefits of this water. And the more benefit, as I told you, you will feel very energetic when you drink this water. Definitely you'll feel energetic. And the best, what I saw in my area of usage was my plants are growing very well. My water fountain, for the past almost 6 months, I'm using the terahertz water. And I just changed the water only once. I had to clean the whole thing. I had changed it. But otherwise, for the past 6 months, I'm noticing, number one, there is no mosquito larvae inside. Otherwise, I used to see small worms every 3-4 days. I used to clean. That is not there. Number two benefit is there is no dust coming into that particular water. It's very crystal clean. Even in spite of 1 month or 2 months, it's still clean. So there is a lot of positive benefits. So here, when you're drinking that water, definitely you should feel more energetic. But if by chance you don't feel energetic, what does it mean? That means to say that your body is still in the process of cleansing. So there is a lot of backlog of all the waste products, especially the heavy metals, all inside. So that is where probably you don't feel energetic after drinking. But I would say there are other methodology you need to follow. Is you need to keep your liver more healthier. You need to keep your intestines more healthy. You need to keep your kidney more healthy by drinking sufficient supportive water. Like coriander water is one of the best and easiest and cheapest for you to cleanse your kidneys. Barley water is another fantastic drink you should look into. Give it a try. Every day drink, instead of drinking Pepsi, Coca-Cola, coffee or tea. If you can drink barley, is an amazing drink. Green tea is another wonderful tool for you with a lot of antioxidants. Then we have there are so many other spirulina drinks or vegetable soups. All these you need to balance it. It's not just with water alone you're going to achieve a lot of good benefits through just the water may not be an option for you. You need to look at beyond. Of course the cell will get hydrated and do their work appropriately. So in a cell, you're not going to go and see whether the cell is working appropriately or not, and you wouldn't even know that how many cells out of the 50 trillion cells, how many cells are working fantastically. You and I do not know. But rest assured is they do their job provided you give them the benefit. Flushing out of toxin is another good benefit we get while drinking the terrage resonated water, is automatically flushing off. So this, what I noticed was there was one patient after drinking the water, she that particular person had a lot of itchy skin, after 2-3 days. So they called me up and said, "Doc, after drinking this water, we are getting a lot of itchy situation." So I told them there are ways of toxins being removed. One is through your intestines, through your bowel movements. Number two is through your kidneys. Number three is through your breath. And number four will be through your skin. This is how your body will throw out the toxin. So if the toxin is coming out through the skin, what will happen is you will feel a slight itchiness. So what is happening is you need to just continue drinking water and let the toxin come out. That's it, nothing else. There's nothing to get scared. But here, there's a little bit of clue I want to give you is you want your liver to throw out the toxin. You want your kidneys to throw out the toxin. These are the two major organs which will do the detoxification or throwing out the toxin. Now, liver needs 35 vitamins and minerals, so you need to work on in that. B complex plays a very, very important role, especially in the liver function as well as your kidney function. It plays a very, very important role. Other than that, vitamin D3 plays such an important role in your kidney function. But if your liver is not functioning properly, your vitamin D3 cannot get converted, because vitamin 3 after from the skin gets into your liver. From there it gets converted and then sent it to the kidneys. From there it gets converted and then sent to the various part of our body. Now, if your liver is not very healthy, it becomes a fatty liver. Definitely your vitamin D3 production or vitamin 3 transformation will be definitely hampered. So you need to work. So it's not, health is not just something which you are going to consume water and then you expect some miracles to happen. It doesn't work that way. Look at holistically, have a balanced journey of life. It will make things much more easier for you. And as I've been telling you, most of us are conditioned in our life, whether it is a taste, your smell, your auditory, we are all conditioned. So even if you're drinking a water, even that your body is so conditioned, because probably you're drinking water system, maybe from Causeway or Covey or whatever it is, you have been drinking it, so your body is used to it. Now suddenly what is happening is your body gets adapted to disadaptation to a pre-disease to disease. This is the steps of the disease process. Now what you need to understand is, if at all you want to put in a new thing to your body, whether it is you want to get up earlier in the morning or you want to change your food habit, start slow. Your body is not used to it, because your body will be thinking, this guy has been doing all the while like this, now why is he changing? So what you need to do is you need to speak to your body and tell the body, hey, look, I'm going to get up early in the morning tomorrow and my breakfast will be like this and my lunch will be like this. You can speak to your own self and tell the body. They will understand your language. Now, once you have a problem, you need to reverse it. Means what happens? You need to reverse through the same process, what had exactly happened. You cannot jump if, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4 stages have happened to for a particular situation. You need to go back is 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to reverse back. But most of us, what we want is from 4, we want to jump into 1 and then expect the 1 to happen immediately. Especially the cellular changes, it doesn't happen. So you have to have patience in your journey to work and adapt to your body so that they do their work. Now, in that way, one of the most beautiful benefit is terahertz resonated water is a very high energy. Now, as I told you, my water fountain, there is no dust, there is no organisms down there. So when it is a high energy and highly efficient, so what happens is your body also needs that benefit. See, sometimes you may think that, for example, your car, you're putting around 95 petrol and suddenly you put around 97, you can really feel the energy of your engine, the power, the torque will be much higher. But that's a machine. It's still okay. You can give a throttle very high. It's still okay. But your body is not like a machine. You need to understand that your body has to adapt. So in that way, when you're taking this resonated water, give some time for your body. Now, if it adapts to your body is well and good. Maybe 1 in 1,000, this particular water may not be fitting for that particular body, so you cannot drink. So you can see some 1 in 1,000, as I told you, even in spite of drinking, they may not get the benefit. So in that way, what you need to do is let them go with the normal what routine they were doing. But overall, if you take the majority of them, 70 to 80% of the people, when they are drinking this water, definitely they will get the good benefit, and everybody has to drink this water. Try it out. It's a situation today. Now, for example, if you're talking about the same water, maybe I can say in India. Now, do you think in India we can get a terahertz resonated water? I don't think so. There are only 4 units down there in India as of today. But how about the people down there? Even if they want to drink the terahertz water, they cannot drink. But in Malaysia, you live in Malaysia and you have an opportunity that you are given an opportunity to drink terahertz water. Yeah, of course, it is available here. So why not give it a try? So most of us, what happens is when we have something, we don't feel the benefit, we don't utilize the benefit. But the moment we don't have, we look for the benefit. We look for the that particular product when it is not available. This is what happens. But life is so beautiful that as we are walking in our journey, many a times it may not be repeated. Like as of Corona today, our lifestyle has changed so much today. Zoom meeting was not at all a priority previously, but today Zoom meeting is the only way we are all able to communicate. So it's a new way of life. So you also have to understand, start adapting to the new way of life. And then definitely the key for your life is you need to balance your life, whether it's your 5 senses, whether it's your 5 elements of nature, whether it's your food habit. Everything needs a balance. You do overdo things, you will definitely have a problem. So nothing more and nothing less. Have a very, very balanced lifestyle, and balancing all your 5 senses from today onwards. Start balancing yourself, especially your taste buds. It's very important because that's a routine for you, because most of us are so used to eating 3 to 4 times in a day, most of us. But I would say if you can bring it down to 2 times a day is good enough. 1 time would be ideally the best. Actually, with more of water and a balanced lifestyle, you still can live. My way of lifestyle is basically I eat 1 time a good meal, but the other time will be a very, very light food. I can work for 14 hours in a day, is not at all a problem. It's all in your mind. How do you set it up? I've spoken to my body and I told, hey, look, this is what I'm going to do. You all have to balance. So the body also understands what I'm talking to it, and then it will balance itself and then move forward. Now, giving this, it's a beautiful journey. So I believe that today I gave you all a fantastic information on the 5 senses and a little bit of blending of water into it. And thank you very much. And thank you all for this wonderful opportunity. And thank you, Angie. Thank you, George. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Florence, and every one of you down there. And let's all move forward with a more adaptive, balanced lifestyle. And until I see you next week, have a great weekend. Thank you very much. Fantastic day.
Thank you very much, Dr. Prabhu. Have a wonderful speech today, about the taste. Yeah, we should have a balanced taste. Okay.
Angie, you can start recording
yes.
from your side. I'll be pausing this one. So from your side, you can start recording the program further, whatever you're doing.
It's okay. It's okay.